Team8s, 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 we're Team8s, we're Team8s, we're Team8s, we're Team8s. Bob, Chris, Connor, Donut, Eddy, Aden, and Pie. We're Team8s. Bob, Chris, Connor, Donut, Eddy, Aden, and Pie. We're Team8s. Hey to all, where we living down the street, driving by to go get some oranges for the deal. Now where we crying, stopping to buy coffee, looking at the toffee. We walk to it and we're going to Waffle House. Feed the wings like it's rain like roll. Coop it, parents got to cook. Feed the sheep, it's no excuse for you. To get in Joplin Missouri. You take the bowl and I got the tea. You always go to Red Lobster every single weekend like a green monster. I'm not living in this nutshack monster and be a worker at a pizza shack monster. Team8s, 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 we're Team8s, we're Team8s, we're Team8s, we're Team8s. Bob, Chris, Connor, Donut, Eddy, Aden, and Pie. We're Team8s. If you got a yo-yo key like battle for a dream island, take the plunge and be the chef in the hotel island. You can work at a Holiday Inn or take me to Wendy's. If you ever met with Penny or Corny and be the basketball player in the whole planet, you can maybe ask that for me and I'll put it to the test. I'll put it to the test. You always go to Red Lobster every single weekend like a green monster. I'm not living in this nutshack monster and be a worker at a pizza shack monster. Team8s, 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 we're Team8s, we're Team8s, we're Team8s, we're Team8s. Inital Key, Donut, Coney, Ball Bag, and Fall. Paramount Bros, we're Team8s. Bob, Chris, Connor, Donut, Eddy, Aden, and Pie. We're Team8s. Please pan, we're Team8s, we Needle, we're Team8s, we Corny, we're Team8s, don't forget it. We are Team8s, we are Team8s, don't forget it's both back. Team8s, Team8s, Inital Key, Donut, Corny, Ball Bag, for Team8s. You better love the Team8s love, baby. Team8s, 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 Team8s. We're Team8s, we're Team8s, we're Team8s, we're Team8s. You always go to Red Lobster every single weekend like a green monster. I'm not living in this nutshack monster and be a worker at a pizza shack monster. Team8s, 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 we're Team8s, we're Team8s, we're Team8s, we're Team8s. Bob, Chris, Connor, Donut, Eddy, Aden, and Pie. We're Team8s. Inital Key, Donut, Coney, Ball Bag, and Fall. We're Team8s.